playing on your laptop again, Ethan? I looked up from my trading algorithms to see my brother Michael leaning against my apartment doorframe, wearing his usual Brooks Brothers suit and condescending smile. He had a habit of dropping by unannounced, presumably to remind himself why he was the successful brother. Some of us have real jobs, he continued, inspecting my modest one-bedroom apartment with barely concealed disdain. You know, in actual offices, with suits and meetings and toxic workplace cultures? I finished, turning back to my screens. How is Meridian Financial doing these days, Mike? His smile tightened slightly. Meridian Financial, where he was Senior VP of Investment Strategy, had been having a rough quarter. Not that they were admitting it publicly yet. We're fine, he said quickly. Better than fine. In fact, I just closed a major institutional investor deal. 7 figures. I nodded, watching my algorithms process millions of data points in real time. They were telling me something very different about Meridian's future, but Michael wouldn't want to hear that. Mom's worried about you, he said, helping himself to my coffee. Living like this, no real career, just playing around online all day. I thought about my trading accounts, the sophisticated AI models I'd built over the past 3 years, and the 8-figure sum they'd already generated. But Michael didn't need to know about that. Not yet. I get by, I said simply. Getting by isn't enough, he lectured, straightening his expensive tie. You have a Stanford computer science degree, for God's sake. You could get a real job at any tech company. Like I had 3 years ago, working 80-hour weeks making someone else rich. No thanks. Speaking of real jobs, he continued, we're having a family dinner tomorrow night. I'm announcing my promotion to Executive VP. Another promotion. Another chance for him to shine, while our parents looked at me with worried disappointment. I'll think about it, I said, my eyes catching a sudden shift in my market indicators. Something big was coming. Don't think. Be there, he said firmly. 7 o'clock, Le Cirque. Wear something professional. If you can. After he left, I turned my full attention back to my screens. The algorithms were picking up unusual patterns in Meridian's trading volume. Institutional investors quietly offloading large positions. Hidden signs of trouble in their quarterly reports. My phone buzzed, a text from my best friend and former Stanford roommate, now working at a major financial news outlet. Big story dropping tomorrow morning about Meridian. Bad audit findings. Stock's going to tank. I smiled, thinking about Michael's smug announcement of his promotion. Then I looked at my trading account, already positioned to capitalize on Meridian's impending fall. Tomorrow was going to be interesting. Very interesting indeed. I pulled up Meridian's shareholder registry public information, though few bothered to analyze it properly. Through various shell companies and algorithmic trading accounts, I'd been quietly accumulating shares while the price was high. Michael would have been horrified to know that his laptop-playing brother was already one of Meridian's largest individual shareholders. And after tomorrow's crash, when the price plummeted and my buy orders kicked in automatically, I'd become the majority shareholder of his precious company. I picked up my phone to RSVP to the family dinner. After all, I wouldn't want to miss Michael's big promotion announcement, especially since it might be his last. My algorithms hummed quietly in the background, processing terabytes of market data. 3 years of work, of being dismissed as the family failure, of listening to Michael's lectures about real jobs. It was all about to pay off. Sometimes success is best served with a side of poetic justice. And sometimes, playing on your laptop can change everything. I started planning what to wear to dinner. Something professional, he'd said. Well, tomorrow I'd show him just how professional I could be. The morning of the family dinner, I watched Meridian Financial's stock price freefall on my screens. The audit findings had hit the news at 9 a.m. sharp. Massive accounting irregularities, hidden losses, years of manipulated reports. By 9:05, the stock had dropped 30%. By 9:15, trading was temporarily halted. My phone started buzzing non-stop. First, a panicked text from Michael. Family dinner cancelled. Emergency board meeting. Then from Mom. Did you hear about Michael's company? We're so worried. I didn't respond to either. I was too busy watching my algorithms execute their pre-programmed strategy. As the stock price plummeted, my buy orders kicked in at predetermined levels. Each drop triggered more purchases through different accounts, different brokers, all carefully structured to avoid detection. By noon, Meridian had lost 60% of its value. My net worth, on the other hand, had increased substantially. At 2 p.m., my friend at the financial news outlet called. "You knew, didn't you?" she asked. "That's why you've been buying." "I didn't know," I corrected her. "My algorithms knew. They spotted the patterns weeks ago: irregular trading volumes, insider selling, inconsistencies in the financial reports. I just listened to the data." "Well, someone just acquired a massive stake in Meridian during the crash. The rumor mill is going crazy trying to figure out who." I smiled, watching my ownership percentage tick up. "How's Michael taking it?" "Not well. He's been in emergency meetings all day. Word is most of the executive team will be forced to resign, including the newly promoted executive VP, no doubt." At 4 p.m., just before market close, I made my final moves. As Meridian's stock hit rock bottom, my last batch of buy orders executed. The trading algorithms that Michael had mocked as playing around had just made me the majority shareholder of his company. I decided the family dinner should go ahead after all. I texted Mom, "Let's keep the dinner reservation. I'll handle it." Then Michael, Lucerk 7 p.m. "Be there. We need to talk." I put on my best suit, not Brooks Brothers but Tom Ford, and headed to the restaurant. My parents were already there, looking worried and aged. Michael arrived last, his typically immaculate appearance showing signs of strain. "How bad is it?" Dad asked as soon as Michael sat down. "It's..." He loosened his tie. "Complicated. The board is meeting tomorrow. There will be changes." "Changes like you losing your job?" Mom's voice quivered. "I don't know," he snapped, then turned to me. "Why are we even having this dinner? My promotion is obviously no longer relevant," I finished, signaling the waiter for wine. "But I thought we should still meet. After all, Meridian's new majority shareholder might want to discuss the company's future." Michael froze, wine glass halfway to his lips. "What did you say?" I pulled out my tablet, displaying the final shareholding structure. "As of market close today, I control 51% of Meridian Financial. Well, technically various investment entities I control do." "That's impossible," he whispered. "The shares were worthless." "No," I corrected him, "they were undervalued. My algorithms identified the true value beneath the accounting mess. While everyone was panicking, I was buying." Our parents looked between us, confusion clear on their faces. "Your laptop games," Michael said slowly. "All this time, I built a trading system," I explained. "Artificial intelligence, machine learning, pattern recognition, all those useless computer skills you mocked. Turns out they're pretty valuable in today's market." "How much?" Dad started. "Am I worth?" I smiled. "More than Meridian was worth yesterday. Less than it will be worth once I fix it." Michael put down his glass. "Fix it? The board meets tomorrow, right? Good. Because their first order of business will be appointing a new CEO. You?" He laughed, but it sounded hollow. "You don't know anything about running a financial company." "I know how to spot fraud in financial reports," I countered. "I know how to build systems that actually work. And most importantly, I know how to admit when I'm wrong and fix it." The waiter arrived with our wine. I raised my glass. "To real jobs," I said, meeting Michael's eyes. "And to playing on laptops." He didn't respond. He was too busy staring at his phone, watching his future crumble while mine soared. Sometimes success doesn't wear a Brooks Brothers suit. Sometimes it wears computer code and vindication. The boardroom at Meridian Financial looked exactly as pretentious as I'd imagined, all dark wood and leather, like success could only exist in spaces that smelled of rich mahogany. The board members sat in tense silence as I connected my laptop to the presentation screen. Michael sat in his soon-to-be former executive VP chair, looking like he'd aged a decade overnight. The other executives weren't doing much better. "Gentlemen," I began, my algorithms still running in the background, "let's talk about the future of Meridian Financial." "Tao, see here," one board member interrupted. "You can't just walk in here and..." "I own 51% of this company," I cut him off. "I can and I will. But first, let's discuss how my laptop playing spotted what your entire risk management team missed." I pulled up the first slide, A complex visualization of trading patterns and data anomalies my systems had identified. 3 months ago, my algorithms detected irregular trading patterns among senior executives. Several people shifted uncomfortably. 2 months ago, they flagged inconsistencies in the quarterly reports that your auditors somehow missed. And 1 month ago, they predicted this crash with 94% accuracy. Michael stared at the screen, recognition dawning. That's why you kept asking about Meridian's performance. I was giving you chances to come clean, I nodded. You were too busy mocking my career choices to notice. The next slide showed my restructuring plan. The board members leaned forward, their initial hostility giving way to reluctant interest. First, the entire executive team will resign, I announced. Your severance packages are generous, provided you cooperate with the SEC investigation. Investigation? Someone squeaked. Did you think I wouldn't report the fraud? I smiled. I may be new to corporate leadership, but I understand ethics better than this room ever did. I clicked to the next slide, my new organizational structure. Meridian will transition to a technology-driven financial institution. Our competitive advantage will be algorithmic trading and AI-powered risk management. The same systems you used to take over our company, Michael said quietly. Ironic, isn't it? I turned to him. All those times you called my work playing around, you were watching your replacement being built. The board meeting lasted another 2 hours. By the end, the old guard had accepted their fate, if not gracefully, then at least pragmatically. Only Michael remained, staring at his empty title and empty future. What happens to me? He asked as the others filed out. I sat in the CEO's chair, my chair now, and considered him. That depends. Are you ready to learn from someone who plays on laptops all day? You're offering me a job? A chance, I corrected him. In the new AI division. Starting at entry level, of course. You'll need to learn computers first. He laughed bitterly. You're enjoying this. Less than you'd think. I turned my laptop to show him the real-time trading data. Look at these patterns, Michael. This is what I see every day. This is how I knew Meridian was in trouble. This is how I built my success while you were mocking it. For the first time, he actually looked. Really looked. It's beautiful, he admitted. It is, I agreed. So, want to learn how to play on laptops? He nodded slowly, his Brooks Brothers armor finally cracking. Think Mom and Dad will ever understand what you actually do? Probably not, I smiled. But they'll understand this. I pulled up Meridian's new stock price, already recovering under my leadership. Sometimes success doesn't look like they expect it to. I packed up my laptop, my most powerful tool, my path to victory, my vindication. Tomorrow I would begin transforming Meridian into something new, something better. And maybe, just maybe, I'd teach my brother that real success doesn't care what clothes you wear or what your office looks like. Sometimes it just needs a laptop and the courage to ignore those who mock your dreams. Coming? I asked Michael, heading for the door. He stood, straightening his tie one last time. Yeah. I guess I have a lot to learn about playing on laptops. You have no idea, I smiled. But don't worry. Unlike some people, I'm happy to teach. As we left the boardroom, my algorithms continued running, spotting patterns, finding opportunities, building success. Just another day of playing around, the kind of play that had just bought me a company and taught my brother the most expensive lesson of his life. Sometimes the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's teaching them how to be right.